Hey guys, welcome to the Filthy RC Network, or channel, however you want to say it. I'm going to be bringing you the RR10 bomber build that I built for Axial Fest this year. This thing is a beast. I've tested it over and over again. We just got back from a run a couple weekends ago, and we definitely put our rigs to the test. So I felt I should do an overview of this particular one, maybe give you guys some insight on particular products that I put on here that you might want to put on yours, or maybe you don't. Either way, I just want to get the word out there on some of these items that I have on the rig and walk you through what I did. All right, so I'm going to move the camera around. We're going to get closer up to the rig so I can show you what I did, how I did some of this stuff, and I'll be right back. Thanks for waiting, guys. We're going to get right into the front of this rig right here. You can see, bam, it's like right in your face. What is this big behemoth? This is the Kms K2 Winch. I believe it's a K2. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I ran it last year, and it was a boss, a beast. If you want a basically overkill winch, just get that. Hands down, it's a little expensive, but you're never going to break it. I can almost promise you that. I pulled 2 cars with it, pulled myself up basically a vertical without assisting it at all, and I had no issues. So Kms K2 from RPP Hobbies. Pick it up, they got them, they ship really quick. Thanks RPP. Wordy made winch mount plate. I found these almost right away when I was looking for parts for the RR10 bomber. They make another plate too, which is solid, kind of like an accessories plate, so you can maybe put your ESC up here versus putting it back over here on the receiver box where the stock one is. If you're not running a winch, that's actually a really good idea, just because it makes it a lot easier to get to the receiver area. But great job, Wordy made. That is awesome. I had to use a axial servo plate mount to mount up my winch just because of the way that I mounted. That's a close-up of the Wordy made front part where the fair lead goes. I haven't gotten a fair lead on it yet. I'm probably just going to get a RC foil drive or a SSD one, either or. It's not really going to matter too much to me. But anyways, you're probably looking at what the hell is sticking out right down over here. Now these are my Mad Dog RC bucket lights. These are awesome, ultra bright. They run a 3-cell directly to them. I believe this is an aluminum housing from what I can tell. Not 100%, but there is a kind of a grid pattern cut or pressed or milled into the back to dissipate some of the heat. They do get a little warm, but if you're running, you're fine. There's no issues at all. I ran them last year all the way through 2 nights of 2 nights of just running hard. And I mean running till like 4 in the morning. Ridiculous. So Mad Dog RC bucket lights, they're awesome. They're bright as shit, and it's probably going to be the only light that you'll need in front of the rig. Moving into the electronics and the drivetrain, what I have powering the winch is going to be the HeyOK wireless winch controller, which I was very happy to find. I was running HeyOK's winch controller last year, and I had 0 problems with it. Great power delivery and control. So I had to go with their wireless winch controller once again. I did an unboxing and kind of a review of it. Check it out on my other videos. I messed up on his website. I apologize once again, Al. On all 3 videos that I have for that wireless winch controller, there is a correction of the correct web page in the comments below. So check them out. He's got tons of other products as well. HeyOK all the way. That was a little cheesy, but whatever. Then I'm running the Mamba Monster X, brand new ESC, great combo and pairing with the Tekin Pro 4 HD 3000 kV motor that is censored. So thank God Castle Creation came out with a censored ESC so I can run that motor and ESC together. It's a waterproof ESC And it has something called an auxiliary plug, which does a lot of things, but the main things that I use it for is definitely gonna be switching on and off my drag brake. You heard it. I can switch my drag brake on and off. It's not on all the time and it's not off all the time. I have the choice to turn it on and off while I am running. So I get 75% on, 5% when I'm off. Big deal. Those of you who use a drag brake all the time know that there's situations where you wish you didn't have that drag brake. And then there's situations where you take it off and you wish you had that drag brake. Well, now Mamba or Castle has came up with an answer to allow you to do that. Check them out, castlecreations.com, Mamba Monster X. Look at all the stuff you can do with that ESC. It's amazing. Moving on to the Bulletproof Transmission. I got Robinson Racing internal gears for the transmission of this rig, as well as I'm running the Axial HD spur gear and also hardened steel gears for the transfer case. I upgraded the mount plate and the motor mount itself to the Hot Racing nice, I think it's like a 6mm plate, which is insane. It looks like a 6mm plate, but it's insane. It's very thick and it's stout, and I don't have to worry about it breaking or torquing, making the mesh between the pinion and the spur kind of cattywampus. Moving outward from the transmission, I have my MIP drive shafts, which I ran in the race, and I fit them in here using longer stubs, mounting stubs or mount ends of each side of the MIP drive shafts. You can get them from MIP directly, or you can get them from Super Shafty. I got mine from Super Shafty. They're quick to ship. They usually always have them in stock, and Super Shafty always seems to have some of those odds and ends in stock. Going out to the axles, I am running the Vanquish Curry axles that I had on the Wraith. The internals are the Vanquish locker with the Axial HD gears. The front is the 38 tooth and I believe it's a 13 tooth pinion. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I do know that the rear is a 14 tooth and 13 tooth pinion for an overdrive. So that allows the front end to spin faster than the rear end, which gives me a little bit more control in terms of wheel spin. It gives me a pull and a push kind of working partnership in the drivetrain. Now, if you do an underdrive overdrive, or I could be setting that wrong, correct me in the comments once again. But if you do underdrive overdrive, you always run the risk of, especially running high power stuff or high speed, you always run the risk of binding, which could snap an axle, or a drive shaft or something in the transmission. So be careful while doing that. I also outfitted the axles with some VVDs from Vanquish in the front, as well as their solid axles for the rear. I had broken one VVD last year. Thank God one of the Vanquish gentlemen were there at Axial Fest and hooked me up with a brand new shaft. I believe his name was David. I will find you this year and thank you personally. I did not find you last year in time. So this year, I'm coming to say thank you, bro. And moving outward from the axles are also the Vanquish C-hubs and knuckles. Now I have the scale C-hubs with the locket, the pinch bolt style in the rear, which is coming in handy because I had issues with these two screws, top and bottom, on, coming loose as I was running. So I just noticed the battery on my camera's gonna die. Hang on one second, I'll be back in a minute, or this might go, we're just gonna go to a part 2. So this is gonna be end of part 1. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna move on, look for part 2. It'll be right after this one. I'll put them up both up at the same time. Don't forget to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe, and look out for part 2.